Well, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is John, and today we're going to have a look at this little guy, the Ganzo 7601 BK. Now, I've been waiting for this for quite some time, and it frustrated me a bit, but that's the way it is when you order from some Chinese sites. Sometimes shipping goes fast, and sometimes very slow. Got a lot of hype or reviews and so on, good reviews around the channels, and of course I wanted to see what it was all about, since Ganzo is one of my favorite. I wouldn't call it budget because yeah, it's budget, more like ultra budget brands from China. I wanted to see what it was all about, since this is supposed to be sort of the next level in Ganzo's development, and yeah, of course I wanted to see that. I have a lot of Ganzo knives before this, but it had some extra going for it, and I'll talk a little about that at the end of the video. But first, let's go through the knife, and then we can talk about the other stuff afterwards. I always start at the blade, and as we can see, we have a clip point here, drop point, and it's a flat grind satin finish with the Firebird logo very prominent, a bit of a switch on the spine of the blade, very sharp out of the box, and a blue coated thumb stud, which is very far behind, so that doesn't get too much into the cutting path, and nicely sharpening choil, which I always appreciate. Still, I even think you can sharpen around this thumb stud, but it could go a bit in the way if you sharpen with one of the systems. I don't know, yeah, I think so, but at least it's not in the cutting path. On top of on the spine of the blade, we can see a bit of we can see the switch here, and a ramp with a bit of jimping, not that sharp or grippy in any way. It's there, it's better than nothing, I think. And looking at the other side, we see the name of the knife, and it is 440C steel and made by Ganzo. 440C steel, a very not very good, but a good budget steel, and the way Ganzo makes it, reasonably hard, but not that difficult to sharpen, which in my case is an advantage, since my sharpening system is an old Lansky from 20 years ago. Have to upgrade it sometime, but you know, every time I want to do that, some new knife comes in the way, so I kind of like that I'm able to sharpen with the old system for as long as it can last. Let's move on to the handle. We see blue coated hardware, Torx 8 and Torx 6, and we notice the axis lock, or as Ganzo calls it, a G-lock. Handle material is a G10, and some quite nice size liners inside, with, I'll try to show you, but with a bit of skeletonizing inside, a lot of holes drilled inside to reduce some weight. A rather big lanyard hole at the back, which is not tubed, but since the backspacer is there too, it is fully it is filled out. Looking at the other side, we have the pocket clip, and I have to direct your attention to this, but because this is extremely deep carry, which in my book is a very nice thing. As I said in my previous video, I'm from a country which is not very knife friendly, so a good thing that I can hide the knife rather deeply in my pocket, and otherwise it looks the same as the other side. The clip is unfortunately one chip up one side only, and that's too bad for the lefties, but yeah, I guess that's all the way it is on this knife. And it is in fact hidden, the screws for it are hidden behind the scales on this one. Fit and finish. I don't feel any rough edges or anything in this one, on this one. No rough edges from the liners, which can often be a problem. Everything is really nicely flush and nicely switched on the on the sides here, and even at the belly of the handle. So really no sharp edges anywhere. Very nicely put together. The G-lock is in fact a bit smoother, oh, that's not the right word, a bit softer than on previous Ganzo knives, which is quite nice. It actually makes it possible for me to use just one thumb to close it. As on other knives, on other Ganzo knives, I often have to use both a finger on each side to release the lock. But on this one, I can in fact just use the thumb, which is very nice, and it just doesn't tear too much away at your thumb. Centering, absolutely perfect, and ergonomically, well, as you can see, it's a very straight handle. It does have this choil in front for your index finger, which is very nice, and then very straight. Of course, not the kind of knife that jumps into your hand and just sits there, but on the other hand, for different sizes of hands, yeah, the handle is just right, because I have a middle size or size 9 hand, and even bigger and even smaller hands can easily get a good grip on this one, and it feels quite nice both in the hammer grip and the reverse grip, and even in the draw cut, which can be a problem because with some of the more ergonomic knives, because there are a lot of bumps that gives you a good grip in the normal grip, but not in the reverse cut. Action, very nice indeed. This came not super smooth out of the box, but it had a little bit of yeah, I wouldn't call it gritty action, but it's still it was drop shot, but it just felt like a bit of grit, but that sort of smoothed itself out in about a day. It was like it just broke in very quickly, and now it is indeed very nice. It is drop shot, as you can see, and very easy to flick, and the blade simply drops by its own weight. So take care not to have your fingers in the way, because this is a guillotine. It is on bearings, and that you feel immediately. Overall, I'm very impressed with this knife. It is, in my book, a very nice design. It is quite nice that it's sort of original, which might have been a thing for Ganzo in the past, but I think they are on the right path to make some more original designs for themselves. As far as I know, no one has been able to point out a knife that this looks exactly like, and for what it's worth, I think it is very, very nicely designed, and I quite like it. The price is still sort of right for still a Ganzo territory, around $20, $23, and yeah, it's just a nice knife, and I have no problem recommending it, because it's a Ganzo and I like the other ones, but this one, well, it's not a revolution for Ganzo, but it is definitely an evolution, and it's going the right way. So I really like it, and I think I can really recommend it. Next video, I think, will be about another knife, the Kaiser Dukes. I really want to show you this knife because it has impressed me so much, but that's in the future. The Ganzo, highly recommended. I think that it has so much good in it, and I really like it, as do a lot of other reviewers out there. Not that I necessarily have to mean the same as those, but I think they have a point. And with this, I'd like to say have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.